Graph 11 and graph 12 look very similar, but they have two distinct markers. Number 11 starts with an x equals, and in the previous video I said if it starts with an x equals, it only touches the x-axis. Number 12 has a y and an x, so it'll touch both the y-axis and the x-axis. So here, x equals 3. On the x-axis, I find 3 right here, and I put a coordinate point. I'm going to use a ruler. I'm going to draw a straight line. That's the graph, x equals 3. What kind of slope does it have? Well, it has an undefined slope. That's not important because that's not what the question's asking. But if you're interested to know, it's an undefined slope. This one has y equals an x and a negative 3. It's almost as if the m is missing. There's a missing number right there. Well, x doesn't just mean x means 1x, so the missing number is 1. I need to write that number as a fraction, because remember, it's vertical distance and horizontal distance. Well, 1 is the vertical distance. To write any whole number as a fraction, it's 1 over 1. You always put it over 1 for a whole number. So that means this negative 3 is the b. That's b. This one's m. It starts with y equals, so the b goes on the y-axis at negative 3. Y-axis, negative 3, that's your first coordinate point. Your m, or your slope, is 1 over 1. It's positive, so I'm going to increase by 1, go right 1. These points should be increasing from left to right. Increase 1, right 1. Increase 1, right 1. Now the minimum is at least 3 points. I have 4 points, so now I can draw my line. Okay? Number 13 has a y equals, but there's also an x. So it's going to touch the y-axis and the x-axis, but there's missing a plus something. Something else is missing this time. This, because it's attached to x, that's the m. So this time I'm missing the b. So plus what? What's missing? Well, in this one, when it was missing, we put a 1 in, but there was an x, and that means 1x. Here, there's nothing, so plus nothing is a 0. So this time on the y-axis, I'm going to start at 0. My vertical change is 6 and my horizontal change is 5, where one of those two have to be negative. It's easier for me to remember to just put the negative on top. So I just cross it out and put it on top. So from here, I'm going to go down 6, negative 6, and right 5 because the 5 is positive, and that's my first point. I have to reverse that process to get at least 3 points. So that's up 6 and right 5. Sorry, up 6 and left 5. These points should be decreasing from left to right because it's a negative slope, and it is. So I can use my ruler, connect the 3 points. It should be a straight line. Okay? Last but not least, number 14. This is attached to x, so that's my m, and that's out here, and that's my b, plus b. So 2 is my y-intercept. So on the y-axis, I find 2, put a point. My m is positive, so it means I'm going to increase by 4, but that's just my vertical change. I also need my horizontal change. 4 is a whole number, so it goes over 1. So I go up 4, right 1. Can't do that again, but I need 3 points, so I'm going to go down 4, left 1, and if I want to do it again, I can. Down 4, left 1. My 4 points should make a straight line. And that's reviewing graphing lines.